Setting an empty room, a man enters. His name is Walter Frank. In his right hand, he is holding a pamphlet. He faces the audience.
Good day, my friends. My name is Walter Frank. And for those of you who've never heard of me, let me introduce myself. I am a disciple of the greatest man who ever lived, Karl Marx. Mr. Marx, along with his close friend and associate, Friedrich Engels, wrote a pamphlet entitled The Communist Manifesto. I brought a copy of this pamphlet to show you. Now, it doesn't look like much, but don't let that fool you. At the risk of sounding like a commercial promoter, the mere thought of it makes me almost recoil in horror, I can say without reservation that this is the single most important book ever written. It transformed our understanding of the world and empowered an entire social class. Let me explain. When Marx and Engels wrote this book in 1848, workers around the world were being treated as chattel with no rights whatsoever. From the sweat of their labor, they were producing wealth for the benefit of the propertied class, which controlled the means of production. This was exploitation on a scale so vast and so blatantly unjust that it had to be stopped. And Marx and Engels were determined to do just that. Hence, they wrote this manifesto, a call to all the workers of the world to unite, throw off their chains, and overthrow their oppressors. Now please understand, this was not merely an attempt to incite. Let me remind you that Marx was a philosopher, not an agitator. Rather, this was a call for action. They proved, based on incontrovertible historical evidence, that victory of the working class was inevitable. It was not a question of if, but only when. Around the world, activists and organizers heard and heeded their call. Inspired by Marx's teachings, they formed political parties and bearing the name of this manifesto, and on behalf of the working class, launched a worldwide struggle to vanquish the oppressors, tear down a rotten system, and create a truly just society. One of those organizers was me. Now, there's no one Walter Frank. I am a composite of the cadre of courageous organizers who, over the years, have dedicated their lives to reaching out to the people and enlisting them as fighters for our cause, your cause. If you believe in justice, if you believe in equality, if you believe in peace, then join our army, the army of the proletariat, as we, the vanguard of a new world order, fight our way to victory.
Scene 1, time 1893. In the room are a group of people, mostly young adults, mostly men. They are seated. At stage right is a podium. A man is standing behind the podium delivering a speech. It's Walter Frank.
I tell you, my brothers and sisters, the time to strike is now. The workers are on the march. Down with the capitalist exploiters. Up with the workers. Are you with me?
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? It's a labor management dispute. We want money. You want revolution.
No, my good but deluded man. This is not just about dollars and cents. It's about social justice. Don't you understand? The bosses want to buy off the workers to keep them quiet. We can see through that. That's nothing but a smokescreen.
You're right. My sisters in the garment industry are working for practically nothing. Working conditions are deplorable, yet nothing is done about it. That must stop now.
Stop ya yammering! What's the last time you ever set foot in a factory? It's easy for you to talk. You live with your rich parents, but for those women, they need those jobs to live.
I've never been in a factory. It may interest you to know, sir, that when I was in high school, I worked for an entire summer in my uncle's millinery store.
Some experience. All you do-gooders are the same, looking for a cause, trying to save the world, and what do you accomplish? Nothing. Except make trouble.
Ah, my friend, you're so wrong. We've accomplished much already. Our voices are now being heard.
You mean your voice is now being heard? Do you think you speak for the unions?
The unions are with us.
You mean they're striking to bring down the country?
If need be, yes.
And replace it with what?
With something better, and where women have the right to vote.
No way. A woman's place is in the home. I can't have my wife running around, not with 5 kids at home. Who'll take care of them?
That's right. Women weren't meant to do that.
So you think it's good to have men do the thinking for us? They have a hard enough time thinking for themselves.
But they're the breadwinners.
And the drunks. Half the time my man is drinking at the bar.
With a nag like you, I'm surprised he's home at all.
I'd hate to be your wife.
Here they go, gagging up on men again.
That's what happens when women have too much free time.
And we don't work too?
You don't, that's for sure, because if you had to work for a living, you'd be singing a different tune.
I'd be singing the same tune. That you can be sure of.
All you girls are alike, always complaining.
I'd appreciate it if you not call me a girl. I am a woman.
How old are you? 18? 19? You ought to be married already.
I'll get married when I'm ready. Thank you.
Maybe she's one of those funny dames that hates men.
How dare you suggest that? I'm not that at all. And I thank you to watch your tongue.
Listen to that. A little joviality, and she goes all to pieces.
You gentlemen should be ashamed of yourselves, speaking to this young lady like that.
And why should we be ashamed? We said nothing wrong. The young lady really has no business being here.
And why is that?
Because you're not part of the working class. That's why. Why don't you just run back home now and let the real workers manage their affairs?
That's right, my good man. You are the real workers, and that's exactly why I called this meeting. We must organize, and we must fight for what is right.
Fight? You mean with a fist?
No, unless, of course, provoked.
Provoked by whom?
The police and the ruffians hired by the bosses to beat us into submission.
You mean if we support the strike, we have to fight the police?
Don't be alarmed. The capitalists are trying to scare us, but we're backed by the people, and they will join us.
You're talking some serious talk, young man. You sure you know what you're talking about?
Of course I do. Karl Marx called on all the workers of the world to unite. Our victory is inevitable. He wrote it all down in his manifesto.
What manifesto?
Communist manifesto. Haven't you read it?
I never heard of it. What's it about?
Oh, my dear friends, my sisters and brothers, haven't you heard? The word is out. It's just a matter of time before all the sweatshops and tenements and filth and crime and injustice are a thing of the past. Marx discovered the pathway to a new society, a classless society, in which there is justice and equality for all.
Sounds like this fellow Marx knows what he's talking about.
I heard somewhere that he is nothing but a rabble-rouser.
No, that's wrong. He wrote a huge book which explains in the most minute detail how the workers are exploited and how the capitalist class is destined to disappear.
Sounds like hogwash to me. How are you going to get rid of slums and factories?
The working class taking control of everything.
And there'll be no more bosses? No more landlords? No more police?
Yes, that's right. Now you're beginning to understand.
Where do I sign?
No, you don't sign anything. You just follow me. When we see the strikers, we tell them that we're with them and then get them to follow us.
How do we do that?
By chanting slogans and letting the whole world know what we stand for.
What about if the strikers don't want to listen?
They will listen because our message is meant for them, the working class who are destined to rule.
This sounds very exciting.
This sounds very reckless.
I got some bad feelings about this.
Don't you understand? We're on the winning side of history. We're going to prevail. We are going to win.
But they're striking for higher wages.
That's why we must get out there to stop them from being hoodwinked by the union bosses who've been bought off.
You think so?
It's a fact. The last thing they want is for the workers to know the truth. They are conspiring with management to keep the working class down, and we have to break their hold on them once and for all, even if it means taking our struggle to the streets.
It sounds like you're talking about going to war.
That's right, sister. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Class war. The proletariat rising up against the exploiters, just like Marx said.
Now you're scaring me.
I knew it. At the first mention of trouble, you'd be the first to run.
Hey, I want justice too, but I didn't know that would mean having to go to war.
This is serious business, Missy.
I thank you not to call me Missy.
If you sound like a child, then you should be treated like a child.
Gentlemen, the sister is young, but there is no need to humiliate her. After all, we are ladies.
You're a lady? Didn't I see you hanging out in front of those red light joints on the Bowery?
You have me mistaken for someone else.
I could swear it was you.
you doing down there?
I happen to work in the area.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a carpenter, self-employed.
Who just happened to be on the red light alley where you saw this lady. Seems fishy to me.
Hey, what are you suggesting? I'm a married man, not a sporting man. I have no time for frivolities.
Of course you don't. What brings you to this meeting?
2 weeks ago, my boss fired me. After I asked for a raise, the boss said no. I made a fuss and he fired me just like that. After having worked there for 3 years, that's injustice. What about you?
Me? I was in the army. One day my sergeant starts bawling me out in front of the troops, accused me of stealing from the unit. I lost my temper and hauled off on him. Next thing, I was court-martialed, convicted, and mustered out. So here I am, nothing to lose, everything to gain.
That's right, everything to gain. So let's hit the streets. The future is ours.
End of scene 1. Scene 2. Time 1917. World War I. The United States is still neutral, but there is talk about the US entering the war.
I tell you, my friends, we must stop the war profiteers from getting us involved in the war. They use clever appeals to patriotism to keep the working class divided and seduce the workers into fighting. But we won't let them do that, will we?
But the Germans keep sinking our ships. They sunk 5 already.
We can't let them get away with that.
Oh, hush up, you warmongering hussy.
The nerve of you.
The ladies, please conduct yourself in a more dignified manner.
She started.
Oh, shut up! Men, because of you men, we have wars.
That's right, blame the men.
That's right, I do. If we women had the right to vote, we wouldn't be in this fix.
That's telling him.
And as for you, young lady, you need to grow up.
I've grown up enough, thank you.
I say you are. Maybe you'd like to join me for some sarsaparilla?
With you, not likely. You're really not my type.
She likes her men more refined, you know, so she can boss them around.
I really have no idea why this talk is focusing on me. I'm here to listen to the gentleman at the podium.
My friends, this is the problem. We have to end all this petty bickering. In unity, there is strength.
That's true.
But we're not united.
Unite for what?
And with who?
My friends, you haven't been listening. There's a new world that's about to emerge. One in which there will be absolute equality for all.
Does that apply to women too?
Of course to women too.
Then I'm out. I can't imagine for the life of me my wife having the vote. That is what you're talking about, isn't it?
That's bourgeois thinking. You have to go beyond that.
So you're saying that women shouldn't have the vote?
It doesn't matter. Well, while the capitalists are in power, your vote counts for nothing. Elections are rigged to protect the interests of the moneyed class.
So you want for us to unite while not giving the women the right to vote? That doesn't make sense to me.
Of course it doesn't. That's because you're a woman.
You, sir, are a cat.
That's telling him.
And as for you must have a cabbage for a brain.
How dare you say that to me?
We're straying away from the purpose of this meeting. Society is divided into two classes, the capitalists and the workers. We can gain power only by uniting into one mighty force that will overthrow a decadent and unjust system that mercilessly exploits the workers.
I'm exploited. I'm a metal worker making $25 a week, which to me is damn good money. I bet I make more than everyone else in this room combined.
Oh, stop your bragging. I'm ready to quit my job and go fight for my country.
Oh my, that's brave of you.
And stupid, too. Why should we get involved in another war? What's in it for us?
You, sir, are a coward.
No need to call me names. I'm just being smart.
You're just being selfish. Maybe we women need to do the fighting for you.
I'll be my guest.
Some man you are.
That's telling him.
And as for you, you're no Prince Charm either. Although I do admire your gumption.
Oh, my dear brothers and sisters, this is the problem. We must cast aside all that divides us and become one in the struggle for equality and justice.
How do we do that?
By raising your political consciousness and gaining an understanding where your interests really lie.
Mine is where I can hang my hat and get a good meal.
Mine is where I can meet a good man.
Mine is where I can raise my kids in peace.
Mine is where I can make as much money as I can. As for the political stuff, I'll leave that to the politicians. That's their job.
So where does that leave us?
In a good place, that's where. We must organize now.
But for what?
To bring down the system.
Yeah, right. The system stinks.
Who needs the system?
Ah, that's all a bunch of hooey.
This system is rotten to the core.
I thought I'd be hearing something smart.
My friend, you are hearing something smart. You just don't know it yet. Your heart told you to come here. Now, let your mind catch up with your heart.
That's if he has a heart. Maybe he's a spy for the police.
Me? A spy? Don't make me laugh.
What I said wasn't meant to provoke laughter. Listen, I don't want for us to be in a war. I got my kids to worry about.
Look, I don't want us to be in the war either. I could be drafted.
We wouldn't want that to happen.
Take one look at him. No doubt he'd be deferred.
I'm as much as a man as you are, pal.
I love it when men resort to fisticuffs.
You do? Hey, pal, your wife is uglier than a mule.
Don't you see that she's trying to get us to fight?
Yeah, I do. So what about it? How about we go a couple rounds?
Excuse me for saying this, sir, but you don't seem to be the pugilistic type.
Hey, I'm no pugilist, whatever that means.
What she tried to say is that you couldn't fight your way out of a paper bag.
Can that talk, brothers? We're not here to fight each other. We're here to struggle against a system that pits man against man, woman against woman, and worker against worker. Are you with me?
I'm not sure.
I am, just as long as Mr. Coward over there keeps his mouth shut.
I will not stand for such talk. Perhaps it's time for me to teach you a lesson.
Hey, who cares about the war in Europe when we have one brewing here?
I implore all of you to end all this petty quarreling. We must unite, even if it requires some head bashing. The movement is bigger than any of us. Alone, we are powerless, but united, we can move mountains. So, what do you say? Are you with me?
Whatever you say, pal.
Just as long as I get the right to vote.
And just as long as my kids are safe.
And just as long as I can first clobber that goober on the noggin.
End of Scene 2. Scene 3. Time 1937. The United States is wallowing in the depths of the Great Depression.
My dear brothers and sisters, thank you for showing up tonight. The plutocrats and their political stooges are sucking our country dry. We must act now.
I agree with that. I've been out of work for 2 years. And what has Roosevelt done? Nothing.
We went out on strike for more money and the boss locked us out and replaced us with scabs.
I finally got a job as a maid.
A maid? Where? On 8th Avenue?
You should know. You've been there yourself.
Honey, you don't know where I've been.
And she don't want to know either.
Excuse me? I can speak for myself.
Oh, you dames are the same. Complain about everything.
You're saying that because you've been told to skidoo by half the women in town, while the other half won't even give you a look.
That's because you're all a bunch of stuck-up snobs.
My friends, stop bickering over your petty concerns. They're nothing when compared to the problems that are affecting the entire world.
Speak for yourself, Mac. Getting a job is important to me. I'm up to my gills in debt, and my landlady is threatening to throw me out if I don't pay the rent. I'm already in deep arrears.
You think you got problems? Get this. I'm in the hole for $1,000 from my local bookie.
That serves you right for gambling.
You have to watch out who your friends are.
Ooh, what friends. My husband is a dog. He hasn't held a steady job since he got out of the service after the war.
Is that his fault?
Yes, it is, but he keeps blaming it on the war.
Did you see action?
Oh, he saw action all right. Hard labor in the stockades at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
But what I mean, was he overseas?
He was for a couple of months, but he never talks about it.
You see, my good lady, your husband is one of the victims of a rotten system that used him and millions of other fine men like him as cannon fodder to gain control of markets around the world while others suffered.
I thought we fought the war to make the world safe for democracy. Anyway, that's what Wilson said.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out that way.
Oh, yes, it did. Right now, there's no war going on.
Tell that to the Ethiopians and the Chinese.
Those are local wars. They have nothing to do with us. I hate hearing people worrying us about Hitler and Mussolini. I have no gripe with them. To me, it looks like they're doing a good job.
That Hitler really seems to have a way with women. Yesterday, I went to the movies and saw a newsreel showing Hitler giving a speech before this huge crowd. I think it was in Nuremberg. The women were hysterical.
Well, I like Mr. Roosevelt's smile. He is nice.
That phony? Who cares about him? So far, he's accomplished nothing.
And why would you expect anything different? Don't you understand that he's a tool of the plutocrats who are milking this country dry at your expense? But there is a better way. Inside the Soviet Union, the proletariat are creating a new society where everyone is happy and truly free.
Isn't Hitler doing the same thing in Germany?
I heard that since Hitler took power, the Germans couldn't be happier.
Then what are we waiting for?
Wait a minute, friend. Do you know what you're saying?
Our system is failing, no matter what we do. We can't get anything done.
Now you're talking, sir.
We have problems, but Hitler isn't the answer.
The only answer is to establish a dictatorship of the proletariat.
You mean go commie?
It's only a matter of time.
Things can't be that bad.
But they are. I need a job.
Me too.
Then we must unite.
What are you, Bolsheviks?
Hey, none of that name calling. You see what happens when you speak out? The next thing, someone's sticking you with a label.
I know what you mean. I told someone that I love the good earth, and this guy overhears us and starts screaming that I'm a commie. Just because I like a movie? Can you beat that?
I didn't think much of that movie. I mean, Louise Reiner playing a Chinese girl.
I thought she was great.
Personally, I prefer cartoons. Or good gangster movie with Cagney or George Raft.
That doesn't surprise me.
What's wrong with Mickey Mouse and Popeye the Sailor?
They're for kids. But I love James Cagney. He's so great in those musicals.
And you're knocking me for liking cartoons?
The mass media uses entertainment like a drug to lull the masses to distraction. Workers are taught to care more about fantasies on the screen than what's going on in real life. It's nothing but a tool to keep the working class stupid and sedated.
That reminds me. I was meaning to see the movie Dead End.
Don't bother, I saw it last week. Part of a double feature with some Charlie Chan mystery movie. Movie put me to sleep. All talk, no action. That's why I prefer cartoons. No complicated plots and lots of laughs.
Did you actually go to school?
Yes, I did. All the way to 10th grade.
I graduated high school.
Big deal. What did it do for you?
I got a diploma, that's what. And that gave me a real sense of accomplishment.
Well, good for you. But did it help you get a job?
That's the bottom line. Does it help you make more money?
The capitalist oligarchs maintain their power by throwing crumbs to the workers to keep them quiet. However, there are historical forces at work that no amount of money can alter or stop. The oligarchs and monopoly capitalists are doomed. It's just a matter of time.
Maybe they are doomed, but what will replace them?
Hitler is working miracles in Germany.
But at the expense of democracy?
That's true. I don't like that.
Meanwhile, I read somewhere that Germany solved her unemployment problem.
At the expense of the Jews.
So what? They're just a bunch of commies anyway.
Every Jew is a commie?
Are you defending them?
She's just expressing an opinion.
Why is it that sooner or later the Jews always come up for discussion?
Because they're a bunch of troublemakers, that's why.
Anti-Semitism is the poison spread by the power elites to sow hatred and keep workers disunited and fighting amongst themselves. Racial, religious, and ethnic differences are inventions used by the bourgeoisie to turn worker against worker.
Meanwhile, the Jews tried to Bolshevize Germany after the war. That's a fact, and it took Hitler to stop them. If we're not careful, they'll try it here.
What are you saying? That all Jews are commies?
No, not all. Just a lot. The rest are sympathizers.
A lot of Jews I know own businesses.
That's nothing but a smokescreen.
I can't agree with you, pal.
You must be Jewish, right?
What does that have to do with anything?
That says it all.
He didn't say anything.
Isn't Irving Berlin Jewish?
Who cares about Irving Berlin? All he does is write corny songs.
I'm an Al Jolson man myself.
He's a little bit too jazzy for me, but I just adore his wife, Louise Reiner.
I think you mean Ruby Keeler?
Whatever.
Look, I don't want what happened in Russia to happen here.
I heard about how those Bolsheviks operate. It's their way or else. But I do like Stalin's smile.
Stated like a true Bolshevik.
I'm a red all because I like a man's smile.
No, not just because of that. You're talking about Joe Stalin, the head commissar. Why can't you say you like Clark Gable's smile instead?
I like his smile too. I hope that satisfies you.
You're just saying that because I brought up Gable's name.
You can afford to think about all that stuff. You still live at home. Me, I have no time to deal with that nonsense.
Not anymore. Last week I moved in with a friend.
Man or woman?
A woman, of course, and a very fine lady.
Of course, for you only the best.
And why not? Expect the best and get the best. That's what I say.
He seems to like you.
He's not my type.
Excuse me? What did you say about me?
Nothing, just mumbling.
Hey, Mac, she said you're not her type.
Who said that I was even interested?
I prefer that we drop this subject.
Let me be clear about one thing. You must stop all this bickering. We need to be united.
Sir, we came here to listen to what you have to say, and so far, you've said nothing.
The power of the working class is already making the plutocrats shake in their shoes. It's just a matter of time before the workers triumph. Then war, poverty, and racism will end forever, and from this mighty struggle for freedom will emerge a new society founded on the principles of peace, justice, and equality.
We want action.
We want work.
And I want a man.
What you want lies within you. The system is failing and will soon collapse. It's only a matter of time. Sisters and brothers, by uniting, mobilizing for action, and taking to the streets, we can accelerate the process and achieve victory.
When you say take to the street, don't look at me. Look at her. She's been there.
Why you keep insisting that I'm some kind of trollop is beyond me.
Because that's where you are. A couple days ago, I saw you standing on the corner of 45th and 8th.
I was waiting for a friend.
And I was looking for a friend.
Are we talking romance here?
Do you actually have a brain inside that skull of yours?
We have much more important business to discuss.
Men have such dirty minds.
Ah, can that talk, you sourpuss?
I saw her on the street. What's the big deal?
Admit it. You'd like to bang her.
I don't even know your name.
My name
No,
is...
no, no, don't tell me. You're coming on way too strong.
What are you talking about? I just wanted to tell you my name.
Talk about being fickle. Pal, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I just saw her on the street, that's all.
You expect us to believe that? I think you have the hots for her and followed her.
Why would I do that?
Because you're a shifty-eyed pervert.
Enough already. We must unite. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about creating a new society. So, what do you say? Are you with me?
I'll let you know after I talk to my husband.
I'm with you. That is, after I get this job interview I have lined up. How about coming with me?
No, thank you. I may answer the gentleman's call for action. He seems like a very passionate fellow. I like that.
I'm in, provided you give me a square meal first.
End of scene 3. Scene 4, time 1947. The Red Scare is in full swing.
Freedom of speech is under attack, and the people won't stand for it. Mark my words, the progressive peoples of the world will throw off the capitalist yoke once and for all. It's just a matter of time. So, workers of the world, let us unite. Together, we will achieve victory.
What's going on is terrible.
Yes, it is. How they going around calling people Reds?
They're looking out for us, making sure the commies don't gain power. You know how sneaky the Reds are.
I didn't serve during the war to see my country go red.
Now it's time for us to join with organized labor and form a workers' front, with us leading the way.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on there, pal. I already served on the front during the war. That was more than enough for me.
What's with you? We gotta do something fast. The country's going to hell.
All the commies want to do is Sovietize my country.
Oh, brother, you're so wrong. We too are loyal Americans. What we advocate is peace, justice, and fairness. You must understand that.
That's what I want too, don't we all?
I've heard those words before. Just talk.
That's right, and coming from the people who brought us the non-aggression pact with Hitler. That was Stalin's doing.
Well, now he's trying to destroy the U.S. Who needs that? Maybe we should have let Hitler win.
Ugh, let Hitler win? How can you say such a horrible thing?
Stalin is worse than Hitler.
Yeah, maybe, but Stalin helped us win the war.
Stalin isn't such a bad guy. If he was, he wouldn't be in power.
Stalin is awful. Look how he marched right in and took over all those countries in Eastern Europe.
Why do I care about Eastern Europe? They supported Hitler, so they got what they deserve.
You think Poland deserves to be commie?
I didn't say that.
Well, you sure implied it. Poland is in Eastern Europe.
I do not want the U.S. to become another Poland.
My dear friend, your fears are unfounded. What we advocate is a people's democracy, one that is truly progressive, not the sham that passes for democracy today.
So you think our system is a sham?
Some people aren't even allowed to vote. You know what I'm talking about.
I know where this is going.
I do too, and I support that.
Would somebody please tell me what we're talking about? All this talking is beginning to give me a headache.
He's talking about the colors, that's what.
Yes, that's correct. The workers' movement welcomes the Negro with open arms. The Negro has been grievously exploited and victimized for centuries, but by joining with us, Jim Crow will be stamped out once and for all.
And what about me? I haven't gotten a raise in 3 years, and if I or my union squawks were accused of being unpatriotic and even worse, lazier than a bunch of
Don't you dare to say that word. If you say it, I will slap you in your face.
Excuse me, I was about to say nincompoops.
I doubt that.
Believe what you want.
To achieve victory, we must have racial justice. We must overcome the bigotry and bias that divides us. Together, we will win.
You mean whites and blacks joining forces? What kind of stuff have you been smoking lately?
What's wrong with wanting racial justice? And besides, where would this country be without the Negro?
It would be a lot better off, that's where. I'd like to find the guys who brought them here in the first place. They made one huge mistake. It screwed up the country forever.
We need them. They're here and they're staying.
I don't need you to remind me of that.
I really don't know what all the fuss is about.
Well, I'll tell you, they are rotten, shiftless, loud, smelly, and above all violent. Plus, they hate white people.
You don't smell too good either.
My girlfriend went out with a Negro.
What kind of friends do you have?
She's actually a very nice girl.
She couldn't find a white guy?
Well, actually, she's Puerto Rican.
Oh, brother, hearing you, it only gets worse. What are those people even doing here?
Working, making a living.
You mean taking our jobs and sponging off the taxpayers?
Oh, my friends, the working class will achieve victory. It's just a matter of time. The differences that separate us are those which have imposed on us by a corrupt political system that wants to keep the working class weak and divided.
I read somewhere about the colored airmen who flew fighters during the war.
That's news to me.
Coloreds flying fighter planes? No way.
Look, they're here, they've been here, and they're here to stay. We have to accept it.
I accept it. Personally, I've never had any problems with Negroes. They don't bother me and I don't bother them. What's wrong with that?
You can afford to say that. You don't live with them. I do.
How do you know I don't live with them?
Because if you did, you'd be singing a much different song. You're like all the other do-gooders, always wanting to show how superior you are at someone else's expense.
Hey, Mac, all of us, black and white, happen to live in the same country. So we have to be able to get along.
That doesn't help me at all. All I know, and this is based on what I directly observe, is that when the blacks move in, they drive out white people and destroy neighborhoods. The neighborhoods where I live used to be all white. Now the coloreds are moving in and taking over the place, and the place is becoming a slum. Soon I'm gonna have to move. It's not fair.
Meanwhile, I don't hear too many white people complaining about that black guy on the Dodgers.
You mean the baseball team?
Of course I mean the baseball team. Where have you been?
I don't follow sports, so this is news to me.
Big deal, that's a game, and besides, I'm a Yankees fan.
I can't stand the Yankees.
Watch your mouth, Buster, or I may close it for you. That's my team you're talking about.
Man, why do I even deal with them?
You mean guys like us, right?
You and your sports, just a reason to get drunk.
You mean to have some fun?
Then beat up on us.
Because you're a bunch of nags!
And you're a bunch of drunks.
I like my men sober.
So you can control them?
No, it's because I don't drink.
I bet that deep down you're nothing but a sissy.
Hey, lady, do you see me wearing a dress or prancing around in high heels?
I did that at a party when I was 5 years old. It was fun.
The people must mobilize for action. We must take to the streets. We must be the vanguard of a movement that will sweep away all traces of bourgeois corruption. Remember, the future belongs to the working class. The victory of labor over capital is inevitable. No more wars, no more racism, No more injustice.
Everyone should be treated fairly.
Well, I'm not being treated fairly. There's garbage in the street. The air stinks. My job pays me peanuts. And my kids keep bugging me for more money.
With you as their father, that doesn't surprise me.
I'm a great father. It's their mother that ruined them.
Will you go out with a Negro?
Maybe I would.
That means yes, she has.
Now you're hearing things.
How was it?
I only said maybe.
But you didn't say no, so your maybe really means yes.
Well, I never have. I stay with my own kind.
That's because you're dumb. Negroes are no different than whites.
I must disagree with you on that.
I don't care if you agree with me or not. That's what I believe.
Yeah, well, you should know.
Think what you want.
During the war, we had a few coloreds assigned to my unit. They were loud, obnoxious, and couldn't keep their eyes off the white women.
What were blacks doing in your unit?
We needed replacements, and they were the only ones available. But they were kept separate.
Did you take orders from colored officers?
Are you joking? No way. We had our own officers.
Wait a minute. I thought we have one army. Or do we actually have two?
We have one army, it's just that it's divided into white units and black units. That's the way it has to be. Mix the two and they'll be fighting each other.
Seems stupid to me. They're Americans too.
Yeah, they're Americans, but they were slaves first.
Where I work, there's this Negro man. He's the janitor. During the war, he served in France, got shot in the butt.
Must have been running away.
How can you say that? The man was shot. He deserves our respect.
What about me? I was in combat too.
Yeah? Was it rough?
It was rough.
Where were you?
In Paris, I was part of the mopping up operation.
You mean you had a mop?
Don't be funny.
You said you were mopping up.
In Paris? Wasn't Paris liberated by the French?
It was, but we were there too.
So did you actually fight the Germans?
Like I said, I was part of a mopping up operation.
Some war story.
Hey, don't be cute. The war was going on and I was in a combat zone.
Okay, hero. I bet they even gave you a medal.
They certainly did, and I earned it. After Paris, we chased the crowds out of France and sent them back into Germany.
Thank you for your service.
You probably had some desk job.
You know, lady, I did my duty and did it without expecting any special consideration, which is more than I can say for certain other people.
You mean the Negroes, right?
That's exactly who I mean. For them, it's okay to have an attitude. While me, I have